Today we are talking about 6 do's and don'ts when starting a small scale juice business. If you guys don't know who I am, I'm Andrew McFarland. I've been in this industry for over 13 years at this point, running my own juice concepts as well as helping hundreds of people just like you all around the world launch and scale successful juice bars, smoothie bars, acai bowl concepts, small scale juice bars, larger scale juice bars, all of it. So all the information on this channel has come from this experience. Now, let's dive into today's topic of conversation. If you are in a situation where you either started a small scale juice business or you're thinking about it, this video is for you because I'm going to share with you the things that are really, really critical that are going to impact your success when it comes to running and growing this style of business. All right, let's start with the things that you definitely want to avoid. What are the 3 don'ts when starting a small scale juice business? Number 1, don't do subscriptions. Now, I should say this with a little bit of a caveat, and I will explain there are some circumstances where subscriptions might make sense, but in general, they don't make sense. And I'll tell you why, okay? Because oftentimes when you're thinking about doing a subscription for people buying juice, oftentimes it's for your benefit. It's not for the benefit of the customer. Because we all know what it's like to be stuck on some kind of subscription and then thinking, oh, you know what? I'm traveling this weekend. I have to cancel this thing. I'm not going to be in town. It's more inconvenient than it's worth, especially in a day and age where people can get on apps like Uber Eats or Grubhub and they can order juice and it can be ready for them in 30 minutes. So why would they order a subscription for you? Generally, it's going to be a waste of time and energy and effort trying to push a subscription model for your consumers if there are competitors in the environment that can offer a more convenient service. You always want to ask yourself, why would someone subscribe to my juice service if at this point ordering juice is pretty easy? Okay, so I generally tell people do not focus a lot of your energy on trying to get people to subscribe to some juice service, but there are particular situations where some individuals might want to subscribe. What would those things look like? In some situations where, let's say it is you're in an environment, there's a lot of mothers and they are the ones that are in charge of the food for the family. Could be fathers too, but let's say in general, mothers are taking care of their kids' lunches and juice for the family, and they don't want to have to think about every time putting a little bit of an order in for a large group of people, and it's more convenient and easy for them to just have a subscription coming regularly. In those kinds of situations, it might be mildly beneficial because it'll save someone 10 minutes once a week to do that. Could be possible, but overall, most of the time, most people can just order on these apps like I mentioned, so it's not something that I would tell you to focus on. What's number 2? What's the second don't that I tell people who are looking to start small scale juice businesses to avoid? It is do not wholesale. Okay, I know a lot of you guys are thinking about wholesaling. It's a big mistake for a lot of reasons. One, when you're wholesaling, even more so than when, let's say, you even have a storefront, because I advise people who have storefronts to not focus on wholesaling. Unless your primary business model is to wholesale, wholesaling is not a game for small scale juice businesses, okay? You're already dealing with a product that doesn't have a ton of margin in it to begin with. If you sell a juice for $10, you're going to have a good portion that's going to produce, a good portion that's going to labor. You've got rent, you've got marketing costs. You don't have a lot of profitability, so you're in a high volume game to begin with. If you are still running things on a small scale and then you get into wholesaling, now you need to sell even more product. And logistically, it's a very difficult thing to do when you have a lot of small retailers around that might be selling a couple juices a day. And now you're running around town trying to refill it, call them, figure out how many juices are there, what went spoiled. You're not going to make a lot of money doing this. It's going to be more of a headache than it's worth, I promise you, because of just the way the logistics of this particular product work out. If you are wholesaling on a larger scale, this is why I'm talking about small scale juice businesses. If you are selling in a larger scale, then that's fine. That's a different business model altogether. This is what we're talking about today is small scale juice businesses. Wholesaling is not a game for people who are dealing on small scale juice businesses at all because of the need for high volume demand. That's all I'll say about that. If you have other specific questions about wholesaling, feel free to reach out to me at any point, Andrew@StartAJuiceBar.com. Okay, what's the third don't? What's the third thing that you want to avoid when it comes to launching or growing a small scale juice business? So it's come to my attention that only 18.8% of the people who watch this content regularly are actually subscribed to the channel. So as a quick favor to ask, please subscribe. And in return, I will be sure to make more content, higher quality content that you can enjoy, and it can support you in launching your juice business. Thank you so much for subscribing, and we'll continue with the video. Okay, what's the third don't? What's the third thing that you want to avoid when it comes to launching or growing a small scale juice business? That is, do not buy ingredients from grocery stores, okay? A lot of your margin comes from the fact that you're buying your ingredients from wholesalers, okay? If you are going to a grocery store to purchase ingredients at a retail price, guess what? You are going to potentially be even losing money when it comes to selling your product. And that is a big mistake. I see a lot of people who get into situations where they can't get to the wholesale volumes. And I'm going to talk about that. There's a solution at the end of this, actually very, very beautiful thing that we're going to be offering that we've only never done and we're only doing now. It's kind of a short-term thing, but wait till the end of the video. I'm going to share with you how you can launch your small-scale juice business as intelligently as possible, as efficiently as possible, as low cost as possible, and all of those things. But getting back to the point, do not buy your ingredients from grocery stores or other retailers unless you're purchasing wholesale. Why? Because the name of the game is saving money on your purchasing, being efficient with your margins so that way you can be profitable. Otherwise, you might be paying people to buy your product, and that is not sustainable. This is all connected as well to your menu costs, and you need to know what your profitability is on all of your recipes in order to make sure you have a business that you can grow financially, okay? That's the third don't. What is the first do? What is the thing that you want to focus on to have a positive impact and launch your small scale juice business intelligently? Because that's the key. A lot of people can launch these businesses, and as you probably will notice, or if you're already doing it, you can be running on a treadmill or in quicksand where you're working hard, but you're not getting anywhere quickly. You have to be smart about how you grow any business and treat it like a business. Okay, so what's the first do that I recommend? Invest in great branding, okay? Design is key. When you don't have a storefront, you don't have the benefit of people walking by your store and then saying, oh, I want to try your juice product. Okay, branding is always important, but it's even more essential when you're running a business on a small scale because people only know what they see before they try your product, and they will decide whether they trust your company or don't trust your company based on this experience. And if you don't have great designing, you don't have great branding, you are going to be fighting even more of an uphill battle when it comes to competing with other people in your market. So it's important to have great branding and great design. It's one of the most critical things. It's even more important than having a great product, I promise you. Okay, make sure you have great design and great branding. Everything visual when it comes to your business. Make sure it's immaculate so that people are attracted to spending money with your company. That's number one. What's number two? Number two is making sure you have a thought out marketing strategy. I often talk about on this channel, hope and pray marketing. This is when people start their business and just hope and pray that it's going to grow and that people are going to hear about it and that people are going to buy from you. And when it comes to expanding beyond your circle of friends and your family, guess what? It's going to take a marketing strategy. You need to know what you're doing to reach other people. And marketing is a whole, I'm not going to get into all the detailed strategies here because marketing is a whole world within itself. And I will tell you, like I said in this video later on, how we can support you with gaining more knowledge around your marketing, everything as it comes to launching a small-scale juice business efficiently. But it's important not to just hope and pray people are going to find you. Yes, some people will, but you have to think about a predictable way to grow your business, not a way that's just hopeful and then you think luck is going to play a role. Intelligent business owners and effective and successful business owners have strategies when it comes to every part of their business and know how they're going to get to where they're going. Just like if you had a goal, you want to get to the movie theater, you're not going to leave your house and just hope and pray you end up there. Some people will, most people won't. That's not a strategy. You need to look at Google Maps. You have to plan out when the movie starts. You have to have a strategy for getting to where you want to be in time. The same thing goes with this business. Do not just launch this business without really understanding what your marketing strategy is going to be. How are you going to get in front of people? How are you going to compete with other people in your market to create a different position to make your company valuable so people buy from you? Okay, that's number two. Now, what's the number three do? Number three is connected to what I said earlier, making sure you have the right profitability in your business and for your product. I can't tell you how many people, small scale or large scale, that don't know what the profitability for their products are. And you need to know exactly what your objective numbers are. So how much profitability you should have. Some people think, oh, it's 50%, it's 30%. No, there are details around how much profitability you should have for your products and how you're going to make sure you maintain margin to grow your business. Because if you're not making enough money, you're not making enough money fast enough, you're not going to grow your company. So you need to have detailed spreadsheets on what each ingredient costs you in each product, what the packaging costs you, what the labels cost you, the caps, the lids, the bottles, everything. So you know when you sell one juice, how much money you've made on that product. And this is a dynamic process because prices for ingredients change. You need to know once apples increase, do you need to increase your price? Do you need to change the recipe? How are you going to manipulate the product in a way that is going to maintain the margin so you continue and remain profitable? This is essential for growing your business. Okay, so like I mentioned, we are actually launching a program called Juice Business Mastery. All right. There's a link in the description below. This is for all small scale juice business owners, people who are aspiring or already existing that want to take their business to the next level. We haven't done this before. It's an exclusive course. There are limited spots available. So if you want to learn more, click the link below. That's all for the video today. This is Andrew McFarland with StartAJuiceBar.com sending you my love. Reach out to me if you need support or have any questions about the course and program. Andrew at StartAJuiceBar. We have a podcast on Spotify and iTunes. It's called the Juice Bar Experts Podcast. Follow us on Instagram if you're not following us there. We have exclusive giveaways. Start a Juice Bar on Instagram, really easy to find. That's all for today. Questions or comments, you know where they go in the box below. Like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Hope you guys have been enjoying the video content. If you're inspired to learn even more about how to start your juice business from scratch, for you, we have a free ebook. It's called the 15 Steps to Starting Your Juice Business. And this is going to go through a high-level overview, through a step-by-step process on how you get your business off the ground. Everything from, branding, menu development, finding the right location, and more. This is going to be a clear roadmap so you know how to go from where you are all the way to opening your store. If you want to go even deeper, we've also created an online course. It's called the Juice Bar Master Blueprint. This is going to go into great depth on everything from how do you put together and think about recipe development? How do you cost out your menu and what's the math around it? What equipment do you need? How do you design your store? How do you find the right location? And so much more. I know you're going to find a lot of value out of both of these. There's links in the description below. So I hope to see you guys at the next video and enjoy.